Hello everybody and welcome back to Blue Jays Today, where your boys always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I am your host Adam Peddle, and today guys, we gotta bring you all the latest spring training news and updates, all the reactions that I have from watching the first 4 games of the spring training of the Toronto Blue Jays. Some really positive stuff coming from guys like Roden, Bichette, and Max Scherzer. We're gonna break down all of their stuff and what they've been doing in the past couple games, and I'll give you my kind of 2 cents and also where I kind of see them fitting in to this Blue Jays team later on. Before we get into it though, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Blue Jays Today if you enjoy Blue Jays news and content. So if you guys have noticed, I have been live now for, I believe, 3 of the 4 spring training games. I didn't think I'd be live that much, but I got a great opportunity to watch every single game, and I have a lot of thoughts right now. First things first, I did not expect Roden to have the start that he's had so far. I've got some of his numbers up right here, and it's really good. This is the entire Blue Jays spring training roster right now and their stats. As you can see right here, he's 7th in at-bats. He's got 6 at-bats, small sample size. I just want to say that right now. Small sample size. But in the 6 at-bats, guy's got 2 doubles, 3 hits right now, 2 walks. I like to see that too, because that's a big profile of him, is that he hits the ball hard, and you see it with the 2 doubles. Granted, his 2 doubles, he did leg out quite a bit, but you are seeing the exit velo get up there on some of these hard hit, loud outs that you're seeing from Roden. But you're also seeing a guy who's very patient at the plate, and that's reflected in the 2 walks that he's gotten. Now, you did have Ross Atkins earlier in the spring training camp before they even played any games come out and talk about that he's expecting big things from Roden. And yeah, from a fan perspective, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's interesting that he singled out that guy. But when you watch him actually play and take his at-bats, and you see how hard he's hitting the ball, you can understand why Ross Atkins was so high on him. You actually had John Schneider also come out this morning and speak very highly of Roden. Shout out to Keegan Matheson for providing this intel. Even John Schneider is thinking that he's got potential to be a 20-homer guy. He's built very strong. He hits the ball hard. And that's, again, another person part of this Blue Jays organization that believes in the guy. Not just us, the fans, that are like, call up this guy already. Come on, bring him to the show. You're seeing it as well from not only the GM, but the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays as well. But my big thing here is, where does Roden actually fit into the picture of the Toronto Blue Jays? There's so many guys in the depth chart that are in front of him. Right now, you're looking at the Blue Jays in the outfield. Obviously, you have George Springer, you have Anthony Santander, and then Dalton Varsho, when he's healthy, will be starting center field. And then, guys who could play a little bit of outfield are Davis Schneider right now, according to Fangraphs, would be on the bench. But you look at the depth, you still got guys like Joey Loperfido, who we got an update a little bit later in this video. Jonathan Clase, Stuart Baroa, having a surprisingly good camp right now for the Blue Jays. And then you have Roden. So you got 3 guys in front of you at the minor league level. And then you got Davis Schneider in the major league level in front of you. So, for me, even though he's having good camp, granted, 6 at-bats, I want to say that one more time. It's only 6 at-bats, so I'm not trying to overreact. But you're seeing this stuff. You're seeing the potential of what he could do at a big league level. If he is a 20-homer guy, let's get him into the show right now. That's better than half the team, in terms of home run power and on-base ability. So how do we get him to the big league level? Is it justified to bring Roden, even if he does have a good camp and finish strong, to bring him over all those other guys I just mentioned? Well, the Blue Jays might think differently. They might start out with guys like Davis Schneider and Joey Loperfido to begin the year. Maybe even Nathan Lucas. I'd even bring that guy up. He could be ahead of him in the depth charts right now. Do you bring up Roden over all those guys? I feel like the Blue Jays to start the year, they will keep kind of the Joey Loperfidos, maybe even the Jonathan Clases, the Davis Schneiders up for now. But I could imagine they're going to have a quick trigger that if anybody underperforms, if anybody gets injured, and if Roden's down there in AAA to start the year and he's still producing, you have to bring up Roden. He is a must play if he is playing good because, like I said, if you guys are OGs here on the channel, it's the last dance of the Toronto Blue Jays. There's no more waiting around. There's no more waiting around for guys to develop. Guys this year, regardless of who you are, whether you're an established veteran or not, or a young guy, if you're not playing well, the leash has to be short. And if that 4th outfield spot, if there's any struggle there or any injuries, And if Alan Roden's producing well, you have to bring him up. A lot of people want to see him break camp. I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe this conversation changes in a couple weeks. But if he's playing well at AAA, start the year, there's a change at the big league level, I would not be shocked to the slightest to see Alan Roden come up and play every day. Because that's the thing, you can't just bring him up and sit on the bench, right? You can't forget it. You can't bring up Alan Roden, have him sit on the bench behind all these guys, and only get guaranteed, 10 at-bats, 12 at-bats a week? We can't have that. He has to find a way to get in the lineup every single day. So my overall thoughts, love what I'm seeing from Alan Roden. Absolutely awesome. Love his at-bats, love the velocity off of his barrel. But let's hope and pray that he can get in the lineup sooner rather than later. Next things up right here, speaking of Keegan Matheson, he actually brought up Bichette. And I want to give a big shout out to this because he kind of prompted my breakdown right here that I'm about to give about Bichette. He said, hey, Bichette has been the most impressive player in Blue Jays camp to Keegan. It's February, yes, got to preface that, but it's all loud contact, games, backfields, everything. I mean, even the videos that we saw before the spring training games, dude was having loud contact. And here's some great examples. In today's game, he had a double to the opposite field, 101 off the bat. This was on Saturday. You had Bichette with 102 off the bat single. I believe he pulled that one. And then as well, a double, another 101 off the bat. It's all loud contact. And now you don't need me to say this, but I'll say it anyways. The Blue Jays floor is raised tremendously if Bichette can be what Bichette was in the past. If he can be that high hits kind of guy for the Toronto Blue Jays and also provide power, because sometimes Bichette doesn't have the power necessarily, low homer total, but if he can get that back up to mid-20s, that is an exceptional, you don't even need to, again, you don't need me to say this, that's an exceptional guy to put in front or behind, however John Schneider wants to construct the lineup of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Anthony Santander. Adding him to the top of the lineup is very crucial. So Bichette, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I didn't expect him to come out this hot, but obviously he was prepared and he was ready to play. Another little side note, we're talking about middle infielders, don't have any visuals to bring up right here, but Andres Jimenez has been batting in the top of the lineup. We saw the game today against the Phillies where Andres Jimenez was batting leadoff, then it was Bichette, then it was Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and then it was George Springer. So if that tells you anything, John Schneider's looking at Andres Jimenez right now to be someone, to be a producer, to get on base with the bat, single, double, whatever it might be, go steal a bag, get in scoring position for Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Just something to note because a lot of people thought he'd be in the bottom part of the lineup. Maybe that changes by the time opening day comes, but that obviously is something to note for the new trade acquisition of the Toronto Blue Jays. Speaking of a new acquisition from the Toronto Blue Jays, Max Scherzer. I can certainly say this. The title of the video in this podcast is Nobody Expected This. I did not expect Max Scherzer to come out and absolutely dominate in his first start yesterday. Hey guys, time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below or click the link in the description to join the action. Available in Ontario only, must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content. Max Scherzer, he went 2 innings, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 earned run. That 1 hit and 1 earned run was because of the Joey Loperfido play in center field. And again, I will get to that update in just a moment. But he had that. He was racing back to the wall. He stumbled a little bit. Head crashed. Neck bent back weird. That turned into a triple on the first at-bat of the game, which then led to a sac fly. And then Max Scherzer struck out the side from there. But regardless, Max Scherzer looked absolutely awesome. And you love to see it from the guy. Last year, Max Scherzer, his average fastball velocity was 92.5. Again, spring training, just 2 innings. He didn't pitch a full, 5-6 innings, but he was averaging a 94.5. That's 2 miles per hour up on the velocity. That sounds pretty healthy to me to begin the year, and he was getting a ton of swings and misses. Again, small sample size. He got 3 swings on the slider, 2 whiffs, 2 swings on the changeup, 2 whiffs, 2 swings on the curve, 1 whiff. I love to see that. Right? If you're getting guys to swing and then as well chase these off-speed pitches, you're in a good place right now. And Max Scherzer looks locked in. If he can be anything of his past self, hell, give me, I said this before, if you can give me 15 starts, half a season, I am elated. I'm hoping he can be a big part of the rotation because, we're going to need it. Some guys are going to underperform. Some guys are going to get hurt. And Max Scherzer is part of that depth right there. Hopefully he's not the one getting hurt, and he can be a big factor of the Blue Jays moving forward. Now, final little updates right here. If you're wondering about Joey Loperfido, I've been kind of alluding to it all video long. There is no concussion symptoms for Joey Loperfido, so that's a great sign. He was slated for a full day workout tomorrow, so that would be for Thursday, excuse me. And he's going to return to game action as soon as Friday per John Schneider, so that's a great sign to see for Joey Loperfido. However, like I said, he might have some competition for that bench job or that fourth outfield spot, so he hopefully he can get back into the action. And speaking of this Friday, if you're wondering where Anthony Santander is, he was sorting out his visa. He's been away from camp right now. But again, speaking of Friday, he is expected to play. So hopefully we can cover that game as well. And we can get some Anthony Santander, Tony Taters action. But guys, if you enjoyed these updates, if you like these updates, hit that like button. Subscribe to Blue Jays today. $4 a month to become a YouTube member. Shout out and thank you to all of our YouTube members. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, guys, go Jays, go.